Jam.
Hey everybody! Happy birthday Friday!
I'm not supposed to see that part.
So we're here to talk about a quite the retro movie as Brewster's Millions from 1988.
We watched all of the Millions.
So unfortunately, I believe it is not streaming anywhere. I ended up having to acquire a copy of the DVD, which you just saw me show you there. So this movie, actually, did I say 88? 85, excuse me. It is directed by Walter Hill and stars Richard Pryor, John Candy, Lynette McKee, Stephen Collins, and Hume Crone, with supporting roles with Jerry Orbach, Pat Hingle, and Tova Feldshush.
Shush.
I don't know. But anyhow, it is based on the 1902 novel of the same name by George Barr McCutcheon.
Yes, and as you know, this is Punky Brewster is the main. It's all about how she's living with her adopted family. This little punk girl.
Although
she's gonna win $1
evidently they
million.
did a reference to the movie at some point from what I was reading. But anyhow, it is the seventh film based on the story, as this version tells the story of a minor league baseball pitcher who inherits his great-uncle's fortune of $300 million. The catch is he must spend $30 million in 30 days to inherit it. And the pitcher takes the challenge as the head of a law firm makes plans to see that he fails so that he can get the inheritance.
Yes, and they leave out the bit where they're like, yeah, he could just quit.
Yeah, the wimp clause.
The wimp clause. He'd get $3 million.
No, just $1 million.
Oh, just $1 million?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't keep with the 3.
No.
Foolish.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, but no. This is the story of Montgomery Brewster, a relief pitcher in the minor leagues of life who got handed the American dream on a very hot plate. That's the opening text. But yeah, as we stated, Richard Pryor is Monty Brewster. John Candy as Spike Nolan, his catcher and best friend. Lynette McKee plays Angela Drake, a paralegal who becomes Brewster's love interest. Stephen Collins, who plays Warren Cox, a junior lawyer at Granville and Baxter. I believe they have been canceled since this movie came out.
Really?
Yeah, don't
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. They're bad. Never mind.
They did a very bad thing.
But yeah, and Hume Crone as Rupert Horn, the great uncle of Montgomery, who pre-records the challenge to Brewster.
That's Cronin.
Did I say the name wrong? Hume Cronin? Okay, thank you.
I'm a Hume Cronin. She's my Jessica Tandy. I want candy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
David White as George Granville, the crooked head of Granville and Baxter, who plans to make sure that Montgomery fails. Jerome Dempsey as Norris Baxter, who apparently didn't really make a career for himself. His name is not is grayed out here. Jerry Orbach as Charlie Pegler, the coach of the Hackensack Bulls. Pat Hingle as Edward Roundenfield. Yeah, I think that covers the majority of them there. Although small cameos by Yakov Smirnoff and Rick Moranis.
Yes, the Rick Moranis one was very small. Like he was, if you bent over to get your drink or popcorn that you set on the floor, you would have missed his cameo.
Anyhow,
you also would have been able to afford both very easily in the early 80s.
Yes. But anyhow, I very much enjoyed this movie. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I had seen it many years ago.
You saw it millions of times.
And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, who wouldn't want something this cool to happen to them? Get a small inheritance from a dead relative that they didn't even know they had.
I'd rather get an inheritance. Because I'm,
Okay. But anyhow, yeah, so basically he finds out that he's got this inheritance, but he gets told he has to spend $30 million in 30 days, and he's not allowed to tell any of his friends why he's spending all the money so recklessly. And he's also not allowed to spend it on anything and waste it. As the example given in the movie is he's not allowed to buy a Picasso and then use it as firewood. He has to get value for his purchases, or something to that effect. And famously, there is a moment in the movie where he finds out about a rare postage stamp that is the inverted Jenny, a rare misprint of the stamp where the airplane was printed upside down on the stamp, and it was apparently worth a lot of money. And according to the movie, or at least the person whom he buys it from is the only known one left in existence. Although the people have said that was a mistake in the movie. I like to think that the salesman was lying to him to try to get him to spend more money, not realizing that Brewster is trying to throw as much money away as he can on things. So it really worked in his favor. But yes, so a lot of people like to say that that he did destroy this valuable piece of postal history. By mailing it, the plot of the movie, he mails it immediately in order to be able to use it. And some people say it's like, oh, it works towards the rules where he didn't, he used it for the purpose in which it was originally designed to be postage. But at the same time, this is a valuable piece of work here, and by using it as a stamp, he has destroyed the value that he paid for. So it's questionable, and a lot of people have argued this, whether or not that counts towards the rules or whether he should be disqualified for having done so. But it never comes up in the movie. It's just something that just kind of gets used and moved on from. But in any case, that stamp scene is very important for the next movie we'll be talking about in the next video, as it is all about stamps.
Yes.
And seeing that scene in the movie, for some reason, gave me flashbacks to having watched this other movie. And I looked into it and found out that it's available for free on YouTube. So, definitely will recommend checking that one out as well. If you are able to find Brewster's Millions, maybe on Comedy Central someday, probably where I initially saw it, more than likely. Or you are able to track down a copy of the DVD or the Blu-ray, which are available.
I like the Blu-ray.
From what I've seen, there's not a whole lot of special features that are worth tracking the Blu-ray down. So if you're able to find one at your local, discount store, definitely worth checking out. But great movie. I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts on it were.
I liked it quite a bit. It was entertaining. It was definitely not like any other movie I have seen. I never saw this one back in the day, even though I did enjoy Richard Pryor. What little bit of him I saw as a kid. I like how the premise is not one that I feel is tired and overused. I'm sure you could nitpick it and say, hey, they're playing fast and loose with some of these concepts here, but I think for the most part, it sticks to the plot pretty well, and it progresses the way you would expect, and it's a little, once they lay out the conditions of the agreement at the beginning of the movie, you can infer how the rest of the movie goes, and it's only the details that would have not been foreseen.
There's a lot of fun details.
Yeah. There's like, he helps to break up a relationship, and so he could get the girl. And in the meantime, he pushes his friendships to the limit, but they all stick around.
Indeed.
So, the movie's been around for a while, so spoiler alert, there's a happy ending.
Also, we were talking about how during the movie about how many of the cast members have now since passed away.
So
good many of the cast is no longer with us.
Any name that you would casually recognize in the movie, have any chance of, they're all gone.
John Candy and Richard Pryor, the two main leads. They're both gone.
Yeah, and there's still some of them are still alive. Like they're not all dead.
Yeah.
But the ones that Tsukonko mentioned are. But there's a few other actors that have been around for a while that, but they're not ones that are like top of the mind. But that's fine.
If
I liked it.
If they were to remake this movie, I think they should put some kind of like tally of the amount of money that they spent, because that was kind of the thing, is that the the love interest is there to keep track of his spending. But other than, unless we like look really close at the things that she's typing into her adding machine or writing down in her ledger or whatever, there's no real way to see the movie keeping track of this. You'd have to like actually take notes and write down the amount of money that Richard Pryor says out loud. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give you $1.5 million to be my bodyguard for a month. It's like, okay, thank you. So yeah, what? Huh? Okay. You know what I mean? That's what you'd have to do. So if you wanted to follow along with this movie does not show an on-screen tally of how much he has. They do occasionally bring up, it's like, oh, you have, $20 million left of your inheritance money. It's like, oh, okay. Like occasionally that'll come up, but other than stuff like that, there's like no like visual like showing of how much he has. Although there is a scene where he gets to visit the money in the bank, which was kind of fun. It's like unless it's like a heist movie, you don't typically see giant stacks of money in movies. I feel.
Yeah, I'd say this is pretty accurate.
The only other occasion like it comes to mind is in Breaking Bad, where they had the huge stack of money. Oh well, actually, it's fills my first criteria, the heist in Batman Dark Knight, the Dark Knight movie.
Yeah,
Joker with the giant, mountain of money.
Yeah, but that was all from heist.
Yes.
So that.
But anyhow,
Breaking Bad, it was laundered money.
Yes. But in any case, definitely recommend checking this movie out. I believe I saw that it did not fare well in theaters. I think it bombed. But it's definitely worth checking out. Brewster's Millions, great movie.
Richard Pryor, always entertaining to watch.
When he's the protagonist, anyway.
Yeah.
There was a certain superhero movie where he was a little unbearable. But in any case, definitely worth checking out. Richard Pryor does a great job in this. John Candy does a good job in this. I think the whole cast does pretty well. It's very interesting. The only thing is, it's a little dated as far as some of the things that happen in the movie, but not to the point where you feel like you can't follow it because it's like maybe there's things in it that aren't around anymore. It's like other than it's like, oh, why did they just use a cell phone? It's like because cell phones didn't exist yet or weren't popular. 85?
Yeah, they existed by then, but they were not common use.
Yeah. But so other than like the lack of cell phones or personal computers and the like, there's not a whole lot in this movie that wouldn't fit today.
Agreed. It's still very relatable. I mean, it's not super dated. Some things, sure, but overall, nah.
Like
maybe decor, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, and the cost of certain things might have gone up.
Certainly, but it doesn't. Inflation. The actual cost doesn't really figure into it a whole lot because he's intentionally paying more for something that's necessarily worth.
But anyhow, thank you for watching. Stay tuned until next week for a movie all about stamps.
I can't wait. So that's Tsukonko's stamp of approval.
Bye-bye. Happy First Day Friday.
Happy First Day Friday.